$340,000. That is the gap between two Americans who started with identical salaries, identical bills, and identical Tuesday evenings at 24 years old. One of them spent 15 years jumping between investments, chasing returns, switching strategies every time something better appeared on his feed. He worked harder at investing than almost anyone he knew. The other one picked three things nobody talks about, set them up in a single afternoon, and never touched them again. 15 years later, one of them has $23,000. The other has $363,000. If you are an American between 25 and 34, and you have ever wondered why your investment strategy feels exhausting and still produces nothing, this video is going to show you exactly why. And the answer is going to be the most counterintuitive thing you have heard about money in a long time. The investments with the highest long-term returns in America are not the ones getting the most attention. They are the ones getting almost none. Let's get into it. Meet Sean and Victor, both 24, both working entry-level jobs in the same American city, both earning $45,000 a year, both paying similar rent, both driving used cars, both starting from exactly the same financial position on the same January morning. Sean is switched on. He follows 12 financial accounts. He reads the reports. He knows what is moving and why. He opens a brokerage account and starts building what he calls a diversified strategy. Tech stocks 1 month, crypto the next, a cannabis ETF that a podcast mentioned, a meme stock that his coworker doubled his money on in 3 weeks. Sean is not gambling. He genuinely believes he is building something. Every switch feels justified. Every new position feels smarter than the last one. Victor does something different on that same January morning. He puts $200 a month into three things nobody at his office is talking about. He sets up automatic contributions. He goes back to his life. He does not check his accounts for 6 months. Sean and Victor grab lunch together every few weeks. Sean talks about what is moving. Victor listens. Victor never mentions what he is doing, not because he is hiding it, because there is nothing to say. Nothing is happening yet. That is the point. And Sean is going to spend 15 years not understanding that. Let me show you exactly what Victor chose and why none of them are exciting and why that is the entire reason they work. Vehicle 1, I-bonds. Most Americans under 35 have never heard of I-bonds. That is not an accident. They are not sold by brokerages. They do not generate commissions. Nobody profits from recommending them except the person who buys them. I-bonds are savings bonds issued directly by the United States Treasury. They are backed by the full faith and credit of the American government. They cannot lose value. The return is tied to inflation. Meaning, when the cost of everything goes up, your I-bond return goes up with it. The purchase limit is $10,000 per person per year. You hold them for at least 1 year. The penalty for cashing out before 5 years is 3 months of interest, still less than most Americans lose to inflation sitting in a standard savings account. Victor puts $2,000 into I-bonds on that January morning at 24. He treats it as his emergency foundation, money that cannot go down, money that keeps pace with the rising cost of American life, money that is doing something while sitting completely still. Sean puts $2,000 into a tech ETF that drops 19% in the first 4 months. He holds it, then sells at a slight loss to fund a position in something else. The $2,000 becomes $1,750 before year 1 is finished. Victor's $2,000 becomes $2,190. Guaranteed, no chart watching required. Vehicle 2, total bond market fund. Here's what most Americans under 35 believe about bonds. Bonds are for old people. Bonds are boring. Bonds have low returns. Bonds are what your grandparents held. Every one of those beliefs is costing young Americans money. A total bond market fund owns thousands of American corporate and government bonds simultaneously. When companies need to borrow money to grow, they issue bonds. When the government needs to fund infrastructure, it issues bonds. Bond investors get paid regular interest on that debt, A total bond market fund historically returns between 4 and 6% annually, not as high as stocks in strong years. But the critical difference is the floor. In a year when the stock market drops 30%, a well-structured bond fund often gains or holds value. It is not a replacement for equity exposure. It is the stabilizer that keeps the overall portfolio from collapsing when Sean is panic selling at the bottom. Victor puts $50 a month into a total bond market fund, not because he thinks it will make him rich, because he understands that the machine that runs for 15 years uninterrupted produces more than the machine that runs hard for 3 years and stops because a crash wiped out the investor's confidence. The bond fund is not the engine. It is the shock absorber that keeps the engine running through the crashes that break everyone else. Vehicle 3, dividend reinvestment. This is the one most Americans miss entirely. Not because it is complicated, because it is invisible. When Victor puts $150 a month into a broad dividend-paying stock fund, the fund pays him a dividend every quarter, usually between 1 and 2% annually of whatever his balance is. Here's what most investors do with dividends. They take the cash, they spend it, they treat it as income. Victor does one thing differently. He sets his account to automatic dividend reinvestment. Every dividend payment automatically purchases more shares. Those new shares pay their own dividends next quarter. Those dividends buy more shares. This is a compounding engine inside a compounding engine. In year 1, Victor's dividend reinvestment adds maybe $12 of additional shares. Invisible, meaningless looking. Sean would laugh at $12. In year 7, it adds several $100s of additional shares annually. Still not dramatic. In year 15, it is adding thousands of dollars of shares every year that Victor never deposited. Shares that pay their own dividends, dividends that buy more shares, a self-feeding machine that accelerates the longer it runs. Sean never set up dividend reinvestment. He took the cash each quarter. Over 15 years, that decision alone cost him approximately $38,000 in compounded growth from a checkbox he never clicked. Year 3. Sean is 27. Victor is 27. Sean's portfolio has been through 4 complete strategy overhauls. He is currently holding a mix of individual stocks, 1 ETF, and a small crypto position. His total balance is approximately $8,400. He has contributed roughly $7,200. He is up about $1,200 after fees, losses on switches, and one position that went to near zero. Victor's 3 vehicles are sitting quietly. His I bonds are at $2,600. His bond fund is at $4,100. His dividend reinvestment account is at $6,900. Total balance, $13,600. He has contributed $7,200. The gap between what he deposited and what he holds is $6,400. Sean knows more about investing than Victor. He reads more. He follows more accounts. He has more opinions. He has $5,200 less. Victor checks his accounts for the first time in 6 months. Nothing exciting happened. Everything is slightly higher. He closes the app and goes back to his Saturday. That is the year 3 feeling. Not exciting, not dramatic, just slightly higher, always slightly higher. Here is the question underneath all of this. Where does the $200 a month come from when you are 24 and every dollar is already spoken for? Victor started a mobile car detailing operation on Saturdays. Not a business, not a brand, not a social media presence, a bucket, some microfiber cloths, a portable vacuum, a foam cannon that connects to a garden hose. Total equipment cost under $150. He texts 10 neighbors offering a full interior and exterior detail for $85. 3 say yes. That is $255 on a Saturday morning. 3 regular customers become 5. 5 become 8. 8 regular Saturday customers at $85 is $680 a month from 4 to 5 hours of work 1 day a week. Victor runs his detailing operation for 2 years. It funds his $200 monthly investment completely. He never touches his regular paycheck for the contributions. By year 3, his investment accounts are self-reinforcing. The dividend reinvestment is generating its own momentum. The detailing income has become optional. He still does it on occasional Saturdays, not because he needs the money, because it funds the machine and costs him nothing he misses. Year 7. Both men are 31. Something shifted in Victor's accounts around year 5 that he could not have explained at 24, but understands completely now. The dividend reinvestment started producing more additional shares per quarter than it did the previous quarter, not by a dramatic amount, but consistently. Every quarter, slightly more shares. Every quarter, slightly more dividends from those shares. The engine inside the engine visibly accelerating. Victor's total balance at year 7, approximately $42,000. Victor's total contributions at year 7, $16,800. The market and dividends added $25,200. The machine has added more than Victor put in. He became a passenger somewhere around year 5 and did not notice until year 7. Sean's total balance at year 7, approximately $19,000. Sean's total contributions at year 7, $16,800. The market added $2,200. Same contribution, 15 times less growth. Because Sean kept interrupting the machine every time something more interesting appeared. This is the year Sean starts asking Victor what he is doing. Victor tells him 3 vehicles, set up in one afternoon at 24, automatic contributions, dividend reinvestment checkbox, never touched. Sean cannot believe it is that simple. He spends 3 more years looking for the version of that answer that is more sophisticated. There is no more sophisticated version. Year 15. Sean and Victor are 39. Victor's total balance, approximately $363,000. Victor's total contributions across 15 years, $36,000. The machine added $327,000. For every dollar Victor deposited, the machine added $9 he never worked for. 9 to 1. From 3 boring vehicles nobody at his office ever mentioned, the dividend reinvestment alone added approximately $89,000 across 15 years from a checkbox, from automatic reinvestment of income that Sean spent on nothing he can name now. Sean's total balance at year 15, approximately $23,000. Sean's total contributions, $36,000. Sean is down $13,000 net after 15 years of active management, same starting point, same salary, same 15 years, same American economy. The gap is $340,000, not from superior investment picks, not from higher income, not from better information, from 3 boring things set up in one afternoon and left completely alone. Sean is 39 and starting over with the right approach, he will build something meaningful, but the 15 years are gone. And 15 years inside a compounding machine with dividend reinvestment running is not a number that future contributions can fully replace. Victor, at 39, does not feel rich. He drives the same kind of car. He lives in a similar neighborhood. He has the same kinds of conversations with the same kinds of people. He just does not feel the things Sean feels when the market drops. He does not feel the things Sean feels when a bill arrives unexpectedly. He does not feel the things Sean feels on Sunday evenings before the work week starts. That absence is what $363,000 actually purchases in real American life, not a yacht. The absence of a specific kind of dread. Somewhere in America right now, someone is 24 years old. They just opened a brokerage account. They are looking at what is moving. They are reading the reports. They are building what they are calling a strategy. They are going to be Sean for 15 years before they understand what Victor knew on that January morning. Not because they are less intelligent, not because they have less access to information, because nobody showed them the 3 boring vehicles that the financial media has zero incentive to cover, because boring things do not generate clicks and boring investments do not generate commissions. bonds, bond funds, dividend reinvestment, 3 checkboxes, 1 afternoon, 15 years of leaving it alone. That is how $36,000 becomes $363,000 in America. And the machine is open right now.